I thought coming back here to Seattle, to Gray Sloan, that he'd be here. That I would be able to feel that he was still here. In the city that he loved, with the people he loved, but he isn't. And it's real. He's not here. And I'm really sorry I'm doing this in front of you because you're the one who had to actually go through it.
How good was that scene? So Kate Walsh returned to Grey's Anatomy for 2 episodes, and while the second episode saw her reunite with Amelia to remind us of those private practice days.
Look at you, Amelia Shepherd, all grown up.
Everyone is talking about that elevator scene in the first episode. After showing those expert surgical skills, Meredith and Addison took an elevator ride, and in classic Grey's style, that's where the emotions spilled out. Before the episode aired, Kate told ET that it felt perfect, and the writer of that episode, Jamie Denbo, told Insider that she got emotional on set. She says, "Even I cried when I saw it, and I knew what the scene was. Watching it come to life was really spectacular for me."
Jamie Denbo, who's a longtime friend of mine, wrote this first episode that I appear in, and it was so great. The writing is so good. It's so classic, like I'd say vintage Greys. It's that, fine line of making you laugh and cry. It will be very surprising and very satisfying to fans, but in a very surprising way.
Addison. He is here. And he's seen his children. And they are very real. And I would love for you to come and meet them.
How beautiful was that moment when Addison got to meet Meredith and Derek's kids. Ellen Pompeo told ET it was a real throwback to reunite with Kate.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Were you Daddy's friend?
I was, yes. I'm Addison. But he called me Addie.
And as long as you're careful how you handle yourself.
Kate and I had a great time working together. The original cast, we have such an intense bond because we went through something so intense together.
So I've said this before, but let's recap. The previous season was intended to be the final season of Grey's Anatomy, and we saw that endgame kind of play out, right? With Meredith reuniting with all these dead characters. But then COVID cut the season short, so it really would have felt rushed to end the show that quickly. So they came back for one more season. So I did say last season, with seeing all these dead characters, I needed 2 more things to happen. I needed to see Christina, and I needed to see Addison. So now we've put check mark next to Addison's name. That seems like it's almost another must-do that the show has on their list before the show ends. And so now Addison is checked off that list. I love seeing her return. It was nice to see her recap her life a little bit with Amelia. Things, she's still married, and the kids are still good and everything like that. But yeah, we are in the end game of this show. So I'm pretty satisfied with everything that we're seeing on this, I think, final season of Grey's Anatomy. And I've said it before, I will say it again, end Grey's Anatomy. Then next fall, come out with this new spin-off show that is some of the doctors from the show right now still either working at Grey Sloan or working at another hospital. But I do think you need to end Grey's Anatomy. And don't even, fathom this idea of Grey's Anatomy continuing without Meredith Grey. No, end Grey's Anatomy as it is with the end of Meredith Grey's story. Then you can have another spin-off that features other doctors. But yeah, it's time to end Grey's Anatomy. So I think we're in the end game of the show. Love seeing Addison back. Another check mark. Christina, I'm just going to keep saying it. Sandra Oh will come back to the show. I know she said a million times she won't come back. She'll come back for the series finale or something like that. It'll be a huge secret, just like George Clooney was for ER. She'll be back on the show. But yeah, what did you think of Addison's return and that really emotional scene in the elevator?